Are you new to SwiftUI? Are you an iOS developer who worked with Storyboard before and would like to know the new approach? This video is for you. In this video, I will go with you through a to-do app, build it from scratch, and to learn more about SwiftUI development and discover what's new in SwiftUI while building the app step by step. In this application, we will learn a lot about SwiftUI, structures, how can we design without storyboard, and then how can we also use list, binding, and a lot more. Don't forget that I will post the code on GitHub so you can have access to this code, download it, and run it on your end. And also, if you have any question, I will respond to those questions within 24 hours. So join me to start learning SwiftUI. Hello everyone, and welcome to my new video today. In today's video, we will build a to-do app in SwiftUI. In this application, we will learn a lot about SwiftUI views and the structures, and also how can we organize and work with bindings and view builders. This is the application, so I will be able to create a task, select if it's urgent or not, and then filter those tasks based on their urgency, so green and red tasks, and then I will be able to make the task completed. So I will see it under completed tasks, and if the task is not completed, I will be able to make it urgent or not urgent based by clicking on this icon. So cannot wait to start learning SwiftUI together. So to start with the design, in order to have an identical to this one, I need first of all an area that is similar to a card, and this is going to be a V stack because this is a virtual stack. And in here I need a text first of all, and then beside this text I need a toggle, a switch, and then a button underneath it. Below that I need another part of my screen, which is also a vertical stack that contain a list. In this list there is three sections, so one section to make to highlight or to include the urgent tasks, and then I need incomplete tasks, and the third section, this is incomplete task, consider not urgent, and then completed tasks to be in the bottom. So this is what we will have, and for each row in those sections we do have a row, and this row is an H stack because it's a horizontal stack, and within the row there is also three things. So there is a text to represent the task title, and we do have here two buttons. So those buttons, basically one of them for make that switch between urgent or not urgent, and one of them to check if the task has been completed. So whenever clicking on this circle, the task consider completed, so it will move to this section. And when we click on the urgent button, the task will be switched between urgent and incomplete or normal tasks, and also the color will be updated between green and red. So let's go ahead and start with the design. Okay, so in Xcode, go ahead and click iOS, create a new app, and then give it a name. So this is here going to be a to-do app, and then don't forget to select SwiftUI instead of storyboard. No option for languages, it's always Swift. No way to select Objective-C. However, if we are in storyboard, we can go with Objective-C. Now we are in SwiftUI. Storage, for the coming video I will introduce core data, so I will continue with the same app with core data, but for now I could keep it none. Team, we don't really need to add any team, but if you have a developer team you can add it in there. While the project created, you should have your one simulator. So I do have here iPhone 17 simulator, and I have the canvas in here going to be ready in a second, and the template starter code is also ready. My first of all, I will go ahead and create here a new file to represent a task, one single task. which is the model that I will so in here I will create a new struct, and this is going to be similar to class, but this is going to be here a to-do task. And very important things to remember to make it identifiable, or implement the interface identifiable. And the reason for that, because I need what a very important ID in here, which is UUID, which is really important because I need to create list of tasks. And this list of tasks, the SwiftUI need to keep tracking of those tasks one by one in order to display them correctly. And I need here to import SwiftUI for that. And then I will go to my own value. So I need here a title, which is a string, and I need also two booleans. One is urgent, which is a boolean, and this is going to be originally false. And also I need is completed, which is also a boolean that is originally false. Okay, that's all what I need for my first for my only task, and this is here a boolean. Perfect. Now into the structure, my main structure that I will create right now, I will go ahead and start with this VStack. So I will remove this. So I will follow the approach that we introduced earlier with to have this card area to input the to-do, with an H stack to have the text and the toggle, and then below this I will have the button. So those will be within the VStack. So within here I will add an H stack, which is the horizontal stack to include one text to represent the to-do, the specific to-do, and then I will add here a toggle, and this toggle will be later on connected to this binding. So this is going to be connected to the task itself to be true or false, urgent or not urgent. Okay, so this is going to be, we will go with this constructor because I need the title for this toggle, and I need a value, a boolean value, to reflect if this is true or false, if this task is urgent or not urgent. Okay, so this is going to be here is urgent, and here I need a boolean binding. That means I need a number or a boolean value, that is if I change something in if this boolean changed, I need to keep track of this boolean value and consider a state to rebuild this view based on that. Okay, so that's what I called it here, a state, and I will create it as a private state is urgent and originally going to be false, and I will use this as urgent in here. However, be careful to when you are working with this, because this is going to be a binding, so I have to use $sign in front of it to represent this connection between the boolean value and that binding. So state capital S. Okay, so this is first of all what I have so far, and this is the text, and this is the toggle, and this is, if we wait a little bit, we should see the updated values. Here we go. We have here to do app. This is here the text, and I need here this text. I also need to keep tracking of the text. I need to update my string or a specific string every time the user inputs something in here. So because of that, I need another state, this time going to be a string, right? And there's going to be here the string that is the task, the new task. All right, and originally going to be empty, and this text will be connected to that binding value, which is new task. Here we go, and that's nice. However, this is not going to be a text, it's going to be a text field, because I'm collecting the data, text field, collecting the data, and I will go with this specific constructor will have to have a title and a binding text. So this is what I need, basically this one. Okay, a text binding and the string. There we go, and I do have both of them ready, so I will just keep it as before. All right, I will here add text in. Perfect. So this is here to area within the H stack, and then I will add the button, and this button I will go with title and action. This title basically going to be here add, and the action will be some code will be done every time the user click on this add button. So now I have nothing and just want to see this in my preview in this area. However, that's nice. However, I need this to be to the top, and because I need to leave the space for the list, and also I need to give it a shadow, so it seems to be a card. And beside, so having this after padding, I will add a little bit of background to be white. So if I have this background color, the background with a color to be white, that's make it make the shadow helping here. If I have this shadow with let's say if the shadow is with the radius 5, so that's will give me this nice feeling of a card. There we go. And last thing I will add here corner radius, so keep those corners a little bit with rounded, so corner radius a little bit of, let's say maybe 12. Okay, and so here we go. This is the card after switching between corner radius and the shadow. So I have this card ready to be used, and no action done yet. The card will be pushed to the top after adding the list below, right? So this is my first section. Now I need to start having a list of tasks. This list also going to be a state, because I need to keep track of this list every time any update happened. I need to rebuild this the whole UI to include the new task. So this is here to do and to do task, and originally this is going to be an empty list. So every time there is a new when the user click on add, I have to add a new task to this list. So this is going to be here tasks dot append, and I will append a new task to do with title is urgent and is completed. So basically the title will be the value come from new text, new task here. This is the string, and is urgent will be also the boolean that I will read it, and is complete I will keep it false because it's by default not completed. Okay, something like this, and that means I will add this task to the list. Okay, however, I should not directly so let me just here apply is urgent with I have to, yeah, so adding the is urgent and is completed to be switched. I should not append unless there is a text. So I will here just make sure that if this new text, new task that is empty, so if it is not empty, go ahead to this process. Other than that, do not do anything. Okay, that's perfect. So now next step is to add the list. This list will be below. So this is the V stack that include the H stack, and this is the V stack. So I will add here I will add a list within another V stack that include those things. So I will here add, I could use this embed, which is give me a container, which is in my case going to be a V stack, because I need to add within this V stack, the root V stack, I need to add a list. Okay, so this is, I should be careful here too, which is where exactly my work, and in here this is because this is the end of the inner V stack, which is the card. This is done in here, so I will continue my work to create the list in here. Okay, the list has so many different initializers. we have to be careful selecting which initializer we want. I can start with one initializer that has a for loop, let's say data and raw content. This is one possible way, but later on we will see why this is not going to be helpful, especially if there is a lot of update to this list while we are working. Because here we have binding, and every time the list used binding and at the same time using filter, the SwiftUI will not able to track the original data after filtering, because filtering create a copy of the original array. Okay, so we have to be careful which initializer to go with. Now I will start with a simple initializer, and then I will change it to a different one later after recognizing the issue with a list and binding. So let's add the list within the VStack. So it will come under or below this card. So I will start here with the list, and for this list I will select this content because I need to add a couple of sections within this list. And for this sections, I will start here with two sections first of all. So the first one will be urgent tasks, and in here I will add, so if you check here the parameters for this section, you will see that, just quickly go ahead, so sections, and we can go with this overload, or we could select this one, and this is actually the one that I will go with, and this is going to be here urgent tasks. And here for the content I will add the for loop to filter only tasks that are urgent. And I will add another section, and this is again will be for incomplete tasks. And also I will add here the for loop to do the filtering. Okay, so let's so starting here with the filter, so I will go with for each loop, and in this time I will select this filter, the data, and then the content. So in my case, data that I will go ahead with is this array or this list after filtering only urgent tasks. So I will here, I'll go ahead and use this array tasks dot filter, and then I will select which task to be included. So I will say here each task, so we'll go ahead with task, and then I will include only tasks those are urgent. Okay, so task dot is urgent, and this is, I will go with the one those are true for my case. And then the content, I will design the content right now. So the content here will be for each task in this filtered array, I will create an H stack to represent the row, and this row basically I will start right now only with a text. Okay, so this text will be that task.title. Okay, so that's the simplest row that contain only one text. So basically here I'm using for each within the section to filter this list of tasks and only include urgent tasks. I could here add another condition to include not completed, but for now I will stick only with is urgent, and I will copy this for each to include it in the other section, and this time it's going to be not urgent or the urgent to be false, and then I will also create the H stack with one task. If I check here, I could test this list that has two sections right now. If I just zoom in, so I could go with task 1 and add, so it's incompleted task. If I stick and go here with task 2, perfect, everything is actually, and task 4, those are all urgent. Task 5 to be normal. That's okay so far. So basically the list with two sections is fine with me so far. However, I need to add delete functionality, and this delete to be applied for each. So for each has a feature to be on delete, So for this for each, I will go here with on delete, so I could perform the swipe to delete features, and for each index set, I will delete the according task from the list. So that means every time the user swipe to delete, I will remove which element. I will remove the element in that specific index set. Okay, so I will use that parameter. Okay, so I will also do the same job for my other for each, and in this case, so this is here for each, and be careful to go with the exact parentheses for each to add on delete. And I will go ahead and test this, but however, I will just make sure that after add, I will make the new task empty, so I could add another task. So let's here try test this. So I will go ahead here and say task 1 and add. So this is incomplete. Task 2 also incomplete. Task 3, I will make it urgent, and task 4 is also urgent. That's fine. However, let's right now try to delete. Let's say task 1. I want to delete task 1, so swipe to delete, and I'm done with deleting task 1. Perfect. Deleting task 3 right now, I could notice here what happened, that task 3 is still here, task 4 here, and I don't see any 1 or 2 tasks. If I try to delete task 4, it's okay. Let's say add here task 5 urgent and task 6 not urgent. Okay, and I keep testing here. Let's say removing task 5, it's okay. Task 6 did not removed, however task 3 has been removed from the list, and that means my list is not working as I want. There is an issue with representing the data in this list. The reason behind that is having my list trying to use for each with filtering, and filter basically here create a copy of this list. So filter as a function, when I'm trying to filter, it's actually creating a copy of this list instead of using the original list. And that's cause SwiftUI not able to display my tasks correctly after removing some of them. And that means it's not a good idea to use filter with binding list. We need to change this approach to use a better approach. Let me introduce it in a second. So now to get rid of the error or the inconsistent behavior that we ended up with working with binding and filtering the array within the for each loop, I will remove this filtering that basically that which caused the error. And after remove this filtering, I will go ahead and use a normal if condition with just why this is $sign. Go to the same array, and for this array I will only, let's say here for this H stack, only display with this if condition. I will go ahead and display, if this is urgent, I will display this H stack to include all tasks that are urgent within this condition. Okay, so this is here the condition, and basically it's going to be in here. So this is my first section. Okay, so this is the section, and this is H stack, and this is here the delete. Perfect. And this is for each, and I will do the same job removing this from here. Just double check, and this is here the exact match for each tasks. Is it the name? That's right. For each task, go to each one of those and check for that urgent. Yeah, okay. And on delete, this on delete for 4. Okay, so this is the thing. So this on delete should only work with for each. So that means there is here an extra. So this is for each stack, and I will remove this, and let me just double check. So this is the array, this is the condition, and this is for, I need this for loop. Okay, so this is in here, and this is another one here, and that makes sense right now. Okay, so incorrect parentheses were added. So this is my for each that has an if condition to do the filtering instead of the filter itself to the binding array. We'll do the same job to here. So I will go ahead with this is the exact same. I will copy here and replace it down there. So this is the section, and within the section I will add, so if this is not urgent, and if this is urgent, go ahead and display it. Perfect. So basically this is should be right now a better approach, and we should have right now incorrect, we should have right now correct behavior for our list. So let's go ahead and test task 1, and this is your task 2. So those are normal, task 3 urgent, and task 4, task 5. So those are all urgent. Let me try here to delete task 1. Perfect. Delete task 4. Nice. Delete task 3. All good. Task 6 added. Task 7. Perfect. Deleting task 2. All good. And 6. Perfect. So the behavior is actually correct, and my list is correctly displaying the list of tasks regardless of correctly displaying the tasks based on their urgency or incompleted, which is exactly what I want. Now let's continue adding or improving the rows, because beside each title I need here to display one button to change from urgent to normal or incomplete tasks, and vice versa. And also I need another section for completed tasks. So this is here what I will go ahead for right now. So this is a third section in my case, and this is going to be for complete tasks, and this is going to be if the task is completed will be listed there. So I will keep the delete, yes. However, I will add here another condition. So if this is urgent and not completed, okay, so task not completed, and I will do the same job here also for task not completed. Okay, so this is the autocomplete AI recognize that for me, and this should be fine. However, there is no way right now for me to switch or to mark a task as a complete task. I will do that in here by adding within the H stack. I will add some space, so a spacer, and then I will add a button, and this button I need for this button I will go to select this overload to have action and label, because this label in my case will be an image that that will display urgent or not urgent system image. Okay, so the action here will be removing one task, this is going to changing from urgent to not urgent, and the label here will be a system image, so image, and I will select system name for my image, and this is going to be here. I will go ahead and display based on the condition. So if the task urgent, so here basically we are switching between complete and not complete. So if the task that is completed, I will display one image. Other than that, I will display another image. So when the task is not completed, I have check mark fill. So when the task is completed, I will display this check mark and check mark with the fill circle. And if it is not completed, we will display the circle. Okay, so this is basically what I need within those within that icon. And for the button, this is when the task will be updated to be is completed toggle, right? So I need to toggle, that means switch between true or false. If it is false, will become true, and vice versa. So this is the button that I should see under the urgent section, and I need the same button to be also in my other section as well. So spacer and the button, the same button. So let's test in here and see if we can update one task to be completed or not completed. So let's here go ahead to testing, task 1, and this is here basically the circle. It is empty because it is not completed yet. Task 2 and urgent, perfect. For some reason, okay, but I believe because I don't have the spacer in here, so that's why it ended up very close. Again here testing, task 1, and this is here task 2. And checking this should move this task 2 to complete tasks. Perfect. So task 2 is right now under complete tasks section, and same thing happened for my other task. So task 3, urgent, clicking, done. That's perfect for complete and incomplete. And we still need one more button. This time this button will be for urgent and normal buttons. So I will add here one extra button with images, but this time the image will be for urgency. So it's instead of check mark, I will select, a second, let me just get the exact system image name. This is going to be this one. There we go. Exclamation mark. This is represent is urgent. Okay. So if this is the other circle that we needed to switch between is urgent or normal tasks, and I will copy it as well to my other tasks, and this button will be basically switching between urgent and normal buttons, tasks. Testing in here, task 1, and here we go. I got both of them, not good, because I need basically one of them to be exclamation mark and the other one to be check mark. So this is not a good idea to have both of them with the same. So the reason to have both circles are so the reason to have those are two circles because we have here the same system image name for both cases, and this is what I will go ahead and change it, because here I need exclamation mark dot circle, not only exclamation, not only circle, and this will give me a different rather than an empty circle, and I will do the same thing for is urgent in here. Just be careful to make this circle dot fill. So this is basically dot circle dot fill, and that should be right now fine. Okay, let me double check in here. I will zoom in a little bit and try here to add task and add. Here we go. So I do have right now two different circles, and if should be actually working if I click on that exclamation mark button, it should become urgent, so I should be able to switch between them. However, this is the behavior that I got. Right now it's considered completed. So let me test one more time, task 2, and if this is urgent, I'm added, that's urgent. I will try to click on the urgent button, not on the complete button, but I have I ended up moving the task into a completed task, and the reason behind that is clicking on the H stack, which is what I'm trying to do right now. It's not able to distinguish which button has been clicked. It's considered a click on the entire row, and in order to change this behavior, I need to give those buttons a style, a button style, and the style this time will be borderless, and this will be enough to make this button clickable by its own, not by clicking on the row itself. So in this case, so I'm adding those button styles into all the buttons that I have, and I will test one more time. And task 1, and now this is incomplete task. If I click on the first circle, it's right now moved to urgent task. Clicking again, perfect, exactly as I want. And if this is task 2 and if this is urgent, those are right now too urgent. Moving this, and if I click on the complete circle, right now the task considered completed, and that's exactly what I want to see. However, we still need to see the circle if the task is completed in case we need to put it back again. So we are able to bring this button all the way into the other section, and in this case I will add this button to make the task I could change the task and make it incomplete one more time. So this is an example here, task, and if this is here, if I make it complete, I should be able to click here and put it back again into incomplete task. The only thing here missing is the spacer, so I can have the button all the way to the left, to the right side. To follow the design that we want, we need here to add a color. The urgent task to be red and the normal task to be green. And this will be applied to the H stack, which is considered a row. This H stack has a property which is row view, list row. So this is going to be list row background color, and the view in this time will be the color, but this is going to be conditional. So that means based on the task, so task that is urgent, and I will check this. If this is urgent, I will go with color dot red, the opacity to be 0.15. Other than that, we'll go with color dot green dot opacity also to be 0.15. Okay, and this is what I will copy this, and I will also use it for the other H stack that I have. Let me just double check if this is urgent. This is binding, so I need here the wrapper value, right? So that's perfect, and same thing will be done here for the H stack, and this is also wrapper value, not the binding, not binding, boolean binding. Okay, and that means after testing here, I should see this green and switch it to red. However, complete tasks are going to be white. That's exactly what I want to see. Perfect. That's the only thing that's not good with the current code that we have, is there is a lot of logic, specifically here for loop and if conditions to display the sections and the rows, and also there is duplicate. So H stack here, I'm doing it one more time, so the row here, it's actually identical to the row, to the other row that I have, which could be improved if we have a more generic view, which we will do right now. In order to move the logic from the view to outside, which is always preferred in SwiftUI, it's a good idea to keep the view as simple as possible and keep the logic outside. And this could be done here by having 3 different tasks based on their status. So I will create here another urgent tasks. And this urgent task is basically an array or a list of to-dos, but this time I will go ahead and filter this by filtering the original tasks. I will filter it based on which one included, based on the is urgent property, and I could use $sign shortcut. So $0, this is representing the task or the first element in this list, $0, and this is if this is urgent. Let me just give it a second to start. I will here after filter, in order to filter I need actually curly braces, and this is where I could start using $sign that is urgent. $0 is urgent, and this is going to be this is the filter that I need. However, urgent task also represent to be urgent and also not completed. This is the case that I also want, exactly. And after that, so this is my first list that I will use. Let me double check here what is the case, and basically I don't need this equal sign because I will organize my code in this way. Okay, and then I need to copy this and do another let's go here with normal task, and this case going to be not urgent and not completed, and the last task to be the completed task, and in this case they're going to be only completed task in this way. All right, so those three lists going to help me improve my views. Why? If I need to extract this, so for example here, in order to remove the duplication of those views, I can create a view builder, and this view builder will represent one row all the way to here. This is one row. I could remove the code from here and place it to somewhere else and use my row view everywhere in each section I have 3 times. So I will have here I have to use it 3 times. Okay, in order to do that, this row need the task in order to refer to the correct task within this list, and this is what I will do right now. So basically I will go ahead and create the view builder that represents one row, and we'll do that outside the body. So this is somewhere in here. I will create another function, but this time I will mark it as a view builder because this is a function that will represent one row. Okay, and this is each row in my case will take one task, right? And this is going to be so let's say here for each task, and this task will be from type to do task. Okay, and in here the function will return some view. And basically here I will go ahead and copy this H stack from here and including the for loop, but however this for loop I will do a different job in here to represent the delete in my case. But let's hear this on delete will stay for the for loop because this is properties for each, so I will only bring the H stack from here into this function. Okay, here I have a task, and here I have in order to represent and work with this task in my code, I need to know which task from my array is this one, right? So I do have to create a function to refer to the task into which array, right? Because I do have right now 3 arrays or 3 lists in this moment, and in each for loop, in each section here, I should display task from the correct list. And because of that, I need a function to help me with taking or to deciding which task to be displayed in here. And I will go ahead and create this task or create this function in here, and this function is index of. So index of function will be helpful to so I will create it in here. In order for that to work and refer to those tasks in those lists, I need a function which is index of, and help me to provide a task, and this is going to give me which is here a to-do task, and this is going to give me the index of that task in the array, right? In the original array that I am working with, right? So but by the way, those are 2 parameters in Swift. This is common. The first parameter to be used for outside when we are calling the function, and the second parameter to be used within the body of this function. And in this case, I will go to the original array tasks and search using a first index. And in this case, I will go ahead and check which task.id equal to the task ID that I have. And this is basically what I want to return in here. All right, so this is your $. Basically, whenever we are using $, this is going to be wrapped in the curly braces like this. Okay, and this index of, I will provide the task and it will return the index of that task in my original array. And this is going to be here returning default values if there is because or I could here return optional and get rid of this. All right, now I can right now use this function to locate my tasks. Every time I do have a parameter, I will use index of function to know which task this one exactly. And I will here go ahead and check if let this index, and I will try to use index of, and this is the function that I already created, and I will pass the parameter, this parameter that I have. Okay, here also we have two parameters for this Swift function, one for external use, one for internal use. And index of cannot find, and let me double check the function syntax. However, this is content view, and here I'm completely out of this content view, so let me just keep this builder within the view, within the content itself, so I could refer to this function. And in this case, this is here the if condition. So if I'm able to find the index of that specific task, I can design or add the H stack in this case. So let's here let's keep the H stack in between the parentheses of this if condition. So in this moment, I can here, instead of use task, I can use tasks list element index, and regardless of what exactly the task, if it's coming from urgent list or completed list or normal list, I am fine, because I have here more general view that deal with any task. You're going to display any task regardless of its type. And this is also here will be implemented, no need for wrapper value anymore. And that's basically a better design, going to work with the three sections in the same way. Okay, so right now I have this row, and I can come back to my three sections. So this is the first section where I have this condition, and I will right now replace this original H stack with my row that I just designed. And in this case, I will go ahead, remove this H stack with all its code, and here I have for each, but this time this for each will not going to loop over all tasks, but I do have here urgent tasks specifically, so I will go with urgent tasks. And in here I don't need this binding anymore, and no need also for this if. And all what I need right now, I need to display one row with this task. Okay, so as you can see, this for is the parameter that we have it in here, for the call when we are calling the function. Perfect. And this is the first section, and I will do the exact same job with the other section. So in this way, also removing this H stack and remove the if condition, and change here the loop to be going to normal tasks. And in here also go ahead and change and call the function row for that task as well. Exactly. And the last switch here, or the last update, is here the H stack that we have it for the completed task. And again, I will remove this and use completed task, and here for each task in this completed task, go ahead to row, and this is should be the best approach to improve my list. As you guys could see, now the list only have very limited logic, and all the logic done outside by filtering the tasks in those lists, creating one function to find a task within, or to find the index within the original array, returning here the original array index for a specific task based on the IDs, and create a general row that could be used across all sections regardless of the status. So in here I can test. Let me just here update the Canva and test everything. Okay, here we go. So task and add, here we go. And this is task 2, urgent, perfect. Everything still. Task 3, urgent. Task 4, normal. Beautiful. Now let's test the behavior, and here all good, complete, done, and not completed, back, and perfect design as well. The only thing that I'm not happy with is when we are moving to the completed tasks, we are still displaying the color, and we are also still displaying the both buttons. Let's try to improve that. I will try here to add one more condition to the color, to the row color, by making those tasks, if they are completed, I will keep them always green. So if this is completed, so consider to keep them always green, so no red completed task. So in this way I will try to avoid having, so this is here, let's say urgent and then completed. I will just make sure that if this is, so here what I'm doing, if this is urgent, make it green. If this is, let me just double check, urgent and completed. But in this, if urgent, going to be red, and if it is not completed, this is what I will introduce. Yes, in this case, and if this is urgent, and then regardless of the task, it will become green whenever it is completed. Also, I don't want the task, I don't want this button to be visible when the task is completed. So no more, remove the ability to switch between urgent and normal when the task is done. And this is by making this button optional. This is the button. So I will make this button optional by if the task index dot is completed, if this is not completed, display this button, and other than that, just do not display this button. So if this is not completed, display this button. Okay, and this means when I'm here adding task perfect, when this is completed, no more option to make it urgent or not urgent. This is exactly the last improvement I want to add it to my code. Let's have a final test in the simulator. So I will open the simulator right now to test the application in the real device. In the meanwhile, let's try also deleting, because deleting should be we keep it as is, because it's work with the for each, not related to the update in the row itself. Task 1, and here task 2, urgent, task 3 also urgent, and delete task 1, perfect, delete task 2, make task 3 not urgent, and then make it completed, put it back again and urgent, and then deleting this task. Beautiful, everything exactly as I want. So here we go, the simulator is live, and I can test the app in the simulator right now. So task 1, and this is, it start with urgent task, and task 2 is also not urgent, task 3 and task 4, perfect. And now start moving those, all become right now in not urgent, and that's perfect. When we are completing those tasks, they are moving down to there, to the complete task section. This is the end of this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoy learning SwiftUI with me. If you have any question, don't forget to leave it in the comment, and the full code will be available on GitHub. Please find out, download, and run the code on your end, and let me know if you have any issue. And don't forget to subscribe in my channel so my new videos will directly ping at your end. Bye.